Take a Man podcast from Odyssey Sports. Logan Paulson there, Craig Hoffman here. Two situational things I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
First is the third down right before the kick in overtime. So they get a sack, grounding, whatever it was that pushes. It's like 3rd and 17, and it pushes the Eagles out of field goal range or to the outer edges of human leg strength possibilities. And Jake Elliott's got a cannon for a leg. Like maybe he hits a 64-yarder and you tip your cap. Cool. But they bring pressure because they know like we can't give up yardage here. They're back in field goal range and the coverage is playing off. And that has gotten a lot of attention. And I think it should. I think that's a bad marriage of pressure and coverage. And those kinds of things drive me bananas because it's like, why do you not just full press coverage there? Like make this as hard as possible. And I know you're scared of a double move. You're scared of giving up a big one and giving up the first down ultimately. But if you're bringing pressure, the whole point of doing that is there's not time for it. Right. And so if you're gonna force a quick throw, giving up yardage there and space to have a receiver run in to be hot and available for Jalen Hurts is self-defeating. So I'm curious what you made of that situation, and if there's anything that the general public is missing when everyone's throwing their hands up, going what the what.
Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'll talk about that specific situation here in a second. But in terms of playing off coverage versus a blitz look, to me, when I see teams do, when I was playing, teams would do that. And one of the reasons you're doing that is because you as a defense know that there are only a couple solutions that the offense can utilize here to get the ball out on time. And when I'm playing off with my eyes through the receiver to the quarterback, I can break on slants. I can break on the kind of hot route solutions that you're talking about. When I'm in press, I can't see the quarterback. And so when you talk to DBs, some of them in pressure situations want to play off so they can see that slant, they can see the hot solution and make a play on the football. And so while I think there's a lot of fans that say, Fred Smoot's like this because he played with under Greg Williams, who's like one of the most blitz happy coordinators of all time, and he wants to press. But then you talk to, I don't know, Kendall Fuller, you talk to other DBs around the NFL, and they say, I actually prefer to be off because I want to make a play on that. And Fuller has done a good job in pressure situations over the course of his career of getting picks in those situations. Now, are they a little bit deep for my money here? Probably. And what I would say is, I don't know this for sure, but I do know that sometimes coordinators get in a rhythm of a game and they say, oh, it's 3rd and 17. This is my 3rd and 17 call. And they lose sight a little bit of the situation, a little bit. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but that's kind of what it felt like. It's like it's 3rd and 17. We need to get whatever we need to do. And the players lose sight of the situation too. So even though Jack makes a call that he really likes in that situation, hypothetically speaking, and we're all kind of speculating now, the players forget that it's not 3rd and 17 we're trying to defend. It's actually 3rd and 6. So this might be a good call for that, but I need to be a little bit tighter to my guy here so that when that ball comes out, I can make a play on the football. So I think it's kind of a combination because there wasn't a timeout before, right? It was just right in the
no, there's no timeout there.
So if you had a timeout before that, oftentimes as the coordinator, as the position coach, you say, hey guys, remember the field goal number for him is X. So we're defending X. We're not defending the 17-yard line. Because the way they dropped out, it looked to me like they were defending the 17. And that's something that does happen in the course of a game. Is guys they lose sight a little bit of a specific situation. And it felt like, you'd have to talk to Jack, you have to talk to all these guys, but it felt like that's what happened.
Yeah. So I've got it pulled up. I wish we could show it, but I don't want us to get sued. It's cover zero. Like it's very clearly before the snap, cover zero. You got it. They're in full.
It's cover
empty.
One, right? It's cover one.
No.
There's a post safety or no?
No, it's a 6-man pressure. You got your 4 down. Both linebackers come.
So there should be an extra guy, right? There should be.
But they're split out. They're in empty. It's 5 across.
I got you.
And there's one guy, one defender over each of the receivers, head up. But the guy who's the line of scrimmage is the 46, like the plus 46.
Yeah.
And the closest defender to his receiver is the guy furthest away from the quarterback, aka the least likely to be hot. And that's Kendall Fuller, who's on the 40.
Right.
Across from, I think that's Devontae Smith. everyone else like is between 8 and 12 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? And sure enough, actually, Fuller's not on. Maybe that's Swift down here because Devontae's in the slot to the guy literally closest to Jalen Hurts on the left hash is where the ball is. He's in the left slot. And so it's, he's got his eyes in the backfield the whole time. He sees this blitz coming and he gets about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, breaks in on a slant and, winds up getting a 10-yard or so gain. And that just makes life a lot easier for the field goal being, it's still a 54-yarder, but it would have been 64. And maybe they punt there and, or they miss the field goal and then you're almost in field goal range already. So like, we talk about marriage of coverage and pressure. That to me is what you're talking about. And, situational awareness for sure is part of it. But also, why would you ever play that far off in cover zero?
So, I mean, in cover zero, I think last year there was a couple times where they played it in Philly, to kind of in the red zone situation. And it's helpful because they're running deeper concepts trying to get the first down. And so you just catch it. There's nowhere to go with the ball. It ends up being a sack or a hurry or pressure, whatever. So I think there are advantages to it. But I think to your point, they're calling it, this is probably like a third long call for them. Or I don't want to speculate, but it seems like a pretty consistent third long call. And when we got to have it, we're going to bring this kind of pressure. What I would say is just so the guys are used to running it in a specific way. They're used to running it in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, whatever it is. So here's a situation where it is 3rd and 17. So you say, hey, probably the coaching point is like mind the sticks when we run this zero because we just got to get them in front of us. But that's not the situation like you're alluding to. It's actually 3rd and 6 or whatever, 3rd and 8. So if it's 3rd and 8, I'm going to play this a little bit differently and be a little bit more aggressive. So that to me, I think if I was making an assumption, I would just say they're used to calling it in a specific down and distance at a specific time. And the coaching points probably mind the sticks. They're all minding the sticks, but the sticks are actually not where the sticks are. It's where the field goal kicker can hit the field goal from is what I would assume.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating, but that's the game. Because also like, if they're playing way up and Devontae Smith is able to shake, I think it's Derek Forrest is the defender there and man on him. And he slips the tackle and goes and runs into the end zone that everyone's screaming about. Like, why are you not just playing off more? Like, how could you give that up? So like, there is that too. I want to be fair. The other situational thing I wanted to talk about, have you had any more thoughts, consideration on going for 2?
Yeah. I mean, the more, and we don't have all the information, but based on just kind of the math, the analytics numbers, I'm probably going for it. Like, almost every time because you're on the road, you're an underdog, you've got the momentum, they're tired, the crowd's quiet.
They're in shock. Finish it off.
And I'm not saying you're going to get it. I'm not saying you're going to get it. Like it could have played out exactly the way it played. Like you go up for a fade, the guy falls down, you step on his arm, you don't get it. It could easily go that way.
Sure.
I just feel like it's like 50-50, 50-50. And that's all things being equal. And obviously that situation at the end of the game, it's not all things being equal because maybe EB used all his short yardage calls. Maybe your guys are super gassed. Maybe you just need a moment to kind of catch your breath. Whatever it is, that's why he gets paid to make that decision on the sideline. But from a numbers perspective, math, I would probably have gone for it.
So here's the other thing that I didn't think about on Sunday that GP brought up on his show, and I think one of his friends texted him. So shout out to Grant Paulson's friend.
And his friend, yeah.
They should have gone for it no matter what because they play again on Thursday. And exposing your guys to an extra 30 or 10 or whatever. Like you can speak to this better than any of us can. Like those extra snaps, they linger. That hurts. You're dog tired. And like there are studies that say there are lingering effects of playing in overtime in the NFL that can last weeks in terms of diminished performance. That is one where like going into the game, if we have a chance to, and it's funny because Ron said yesterday, he's like, in our Sunday morning, when I was preparing for the game Sunday morning, I was thinking about, a bunch of stuff and we got in that situation and I consulted all my people and we decided to kick the field goal. And the Sunday morning meeting should have been, if we get in this situation, we are going for it no matter what. I don't care what play you like give me your best one. Pretend that we're down a touchdown and we're at the 2-yard line. What you're going to kick the field goal? No, like you have to have a play that you like more than every other one, even if it's not, like ideal. because of the playing on Thursday, they should have gone for it. And I think even without that, they should have, for all the reasons you said, but it becomes less defensible when you're playing again on a quick turnaround and exposing your guys to extra plays and extra fatigue and shortening their recovery and adding to damage could cost you on Thursday, not just on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point by Grant's friend. And yeah, I mean, I think that we don't have access to all the information that they have access to. So I would say the math would say based on the math, I would go for it, is what I would say.
Yeah. Okay. That's what you're going to say.
That's what I'm going to say.
That's what Logan says. For more of what Logan says, come back tomorrow. We're going to preview the Chicago Bears game because we are just flipping pods, flipping radio shows. We're doing everything as fast as we can this week because we also are preparing for Thursday night football. And then we'll see you at Tap Sports Bar on Thursday. The official Take Command pregame show starts at 6:30, but coming out with the starting at 4, the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. Of course, we're live every day on the radio, but Thursday we will be at Tap Sports Bar in person. Thursday morning, also, we'll have a Take 5, some stories from Logan's playing days in Chicago. And then Friday morning, we will do our post-game reaction pod. And then we'll be back on a pretty regular schedule next week. That's it. And that's all for this edition of Take Command. We'll see you tomorrow.